Hey everybody, I am here to show you how to take a photo with your Chromebook. I have my Chromebook today, I have my science journal, and I have some other tools that are going to be helpful in this process. So, you're going to need to make sure that you open up first to the first page of your science journal or whatever page you want to share. So I want to share my experiment with the Rainmaker today. So there's my Rainmaker experiment that I want to share with the class. These were some of my results. So what I do first is I open up to that page and I kind of fold over my science journal to make it really as flat as possible. Then I open up my picture app, my camera app on the Chromebook. I open up the camera app by going to this circle over here, then going to this camera button, and there I am. Scientists, now that your camera app is open on the Chromebook, you're going to want to make sure that you are in the screen, that the camera app is showing you. For me, that's been the most helpful way to take pictures with the Chromebook. If you are seeing yourself, it's easier to manipulate things if you're on the screen. So you want to make sure that you're flipped the right way so that you can see yourself. Now that I can see me, I'm ready to start thinking about taking my picture of my journal entry. I have my science notebook, and I also brought some other tools to make this a little bit easier. I actually use a clipboard when I'm taking a picture of my journal entry. And it's helpful to also grab any extra clips that you might have. I'm going to use the clipboard to begin. I take my journal entry and I clip it to the clipboard. You'll notice that I also flipped the whole thing behind so I don't have like this giant piece of the journal hanging off the edge. So I don't want to clip it like this. I actually want to see if I can actually fold it over just like that, then clip it so it's nice and flat. Because what happens is if the journal is not flat, you sometimes get shadowing that make it difficult for your reader to be able to read your journal entry. So you want it to be as flat as possible. I use my clipboard to do that. I also grabbed a clip to help me with that process. And if my clip doesn't fit, it just means I have to pull my journal out a little bit more from one side. Look, and that might happen. I'm going to do that. Things fall all the time, so you might have to try again. That's what science is all about. We can't give up. We're going to have to think outside the box here. All right. So now I have my two clips to help me. If I was to take a picture of this journal entry right now, like this, you probably wouldn't be able to see it. It's too far away. You can see a nice picture of Mrs. L, but you're not seeing my important science work. So now your job as the scientist is to figure out a way to communicate the science in a better way, which means that you need to make the journal entry clearer to your reader. So what I do is I actually go underneath my clipboard so that I can then start to bring the clipboard closer to the Chromebook. Now, you'll notice it's becoming a little bit more clear what my journal entry says. But it's still not perfect. My light in this situation is coming from above. So it's very bright on the top for me. And it would make it really shadowy on this side. So when I am taking my picture right now, you might be missing a lot of important science work. Instead, I have to manipulate things. Manipulate means move. I have to move things to make it more clear. So if I go this way, I get a big bright spot. If I go this way, because of where my light is, I am able to take that image and make it a little bit more clear. And even though my hand is still in this photo, it's okay because much of my journal entry is more clear. And it might not be perfect, but it's a lot better. And if I took my picture here, you might have a much clearer image of what my science work said. Now, even if I take it here, there might be some tricky spots that my teacher can't see. And I'll be able to view that after I take the picture and double check some of those spots. And if there is a spot, that's okay. We just need to take a minute and zoom into that spot that was a little bit more difficult to see. And I just manipulate my clipboard and zoom in on that spot. So maybe you just want to see that part of my experiment. And I take a picture there. Or maybe we take a picture out here because I really wanted to see the bigger picture of your experiment. So there are different choices we can make in order to communicate different ideas to our readers. You can zoom in, you can get a whole picture, and usually you want a little bit of both. Maybe in a series, when you're trying to communicate your science journal, you're actually going to take a couple of pictures and share them with your teacher. It won't just be one. And it's not going to be perfect at first, boys and girls. It's going to take some practice. It's going to take some time to figure out the space that you're working in and where the light is coming from at certain times of the day, because we know that that changes. It's going to take some practice. You may even have to move where you're taking your pictures. Maybe the spot you're in isn't working the best, and you need to go to a place where there's better lighting. That is okay too. But these are things to think about when you are trying to communicate science with your classmates and your teacher. Here is how you post a picture of your work to our Google Classroom. You are going to want to make sure that first you head to Google Classroom. Click on the Google Classroom icon. Then make sure you choose Mrs. L's 3rd grade web school class. After that, make sure you go to the classwork. This is where you'll find assignments that might require you to post a picture. Our science work often has you post a picture of your journal entry. So I'm going to go to that one first. You view the assignment. And then, after you've completed the assignment and you've made your journal entry and you've taken a really good picture of it, here's how you add it. You're going to go to Add or Create. After that, you're going to go to File. This File section has a little paper clip next to it. You're going to click on File. After that, you're going to make sure that you're on the Upload section. The Upload section has a little icon that says Browse. You're going to click on the word Browse next. Finally, you're going to go to Images. And since you so nicely labeled it, it's going to be really easy for you to find. And you go ahead and click on it. You open. And then it posts to Google Classroom. Finally, you can go ahead and turn in the assignment by clicking on Turn In. Now you know how to post your picture in Google Classroom. Great job. Go off and do it on your own.